So we are live. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. My name is Mireille Tulekima. I'm the founder of the Mireille Tulekima Global Leadership Organization. And this organization is actually sponsoring this show. Our goal with the show is to inspire you, empower you to step into your greatness. And really the main goal is for you to take action, massive action, to bring your life to the next level. And really, like I always say, leave nothing on the table of life. So we bring to you the best greatness engineer, the most inspiring champions who have really conquered, the worst sometime. And they come to share their story of triumph. And today, we are heading to the Caribbean. We have three outstanding, action-driven ladies who are going to join us, one from Suriname, another one from Trinidad and Tobago, and the third one from Curacao. So those women are very passionate about, entrepreneurship and about everything that they do. But most importantly, they lead by example, and they put all their heart and effort to make a difference and create a positive impact in their communities. So they're in a way on a mission to move to the next level of their greatness. So we're going to hear about them today, and I hope that it's going to be a great conversation for all of us, and really for you to get inspired, because that's what it's all about. So let's start and let's meet our guest today.
Right? On memories. But as I got older, I started to be more aware of some of the abusive sides of
So, good morning, ladies. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Show. I hope you are all doing well, and I'm really excited today to have, to go to the Caribbean. It's just amazing. So, we're just gonna, get to know who you are and really understand, what is really your story and how do you get to do what you do right now. So I'll start with Ruth. Ruth, tell us, who are you, Ruth? We want to know all about you.
Yeah, thank you, Mireille. Well, my name is Ruth Sinclair. I was born in Suriname. And when I was little, my mother and I moved to the Netherlands. And then when I was 7, moved back here to Suriname. And again, back to the Netherlands when I was 11. So I was going back and forth between the two countries in my youth. And from my 11th birthday, I grew up in the Netherlands. I studied. I did a partial medical study. So I'm a therapist. I work with people. I'm a therapist for posture and movement. The studies is only in the Netherlands and in Norway. But there, I got really interested in people and working with people. So after I started coaching, etc. My coaching education. So now I work as a leadership coach and trainer. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've never worked for a company. When I finished my studies, I started right away as a freelance therapist, and I've never worked for a company, so I was always an entrepreneur. Um, yeah, so that's. I moved back to Suriname in 2015 and been living there in the tropics on my flip flops ever since.
Okay, so a lot of a lot of diversity and a lot of movement between Suriname and the Netherlands. So we'll come back to that because I know that it has been a lot of it has actually influenced the way you've been doing your business. So we'll come back to you. Let's know a little bit about Annika. Annika, let us know who you are and how did you come to do what you do right now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Annika Ramcharan. I was born and raised in a beautiful island called Trinidad and Tobago. I am a personal and leadership development coach, speaker, and trainer.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
am
I couldn't hear you very well. So just to let us know that maybe you have something with your mic. So okay,
Can you
go
hear me
ahead.
better now?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
Okay, great. I am very privileged to do what I do today, and to help people because throughout my career from real estate to helping my dad manage his business, I've always been interested in people. Why some of us can't accomplish our goals or the leadership styles. And I've learned a lot over the years, which I'm very excited to share with you guys today.
Okay, so thank you, and really, amazing to see, that that's this diversity, especially in the same region. But we'll come back to that as well. We have Inonge with us as well. Inonge is based in Curaçao, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she'll let us know. And so, Inonge, please let us know, who you are and, what, because I see that you have a very interesting story. So let us, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, Mirel, or good morning from my time. Good morning for you, I think. It's afternoon for you. My name is Inonge Anandala van de Wetering, speaking from Curacao. That's Caribbean, of course. And I am originally from a very beautiful Southern African country, Zambia. And I live on the island of Curacao since 4 years now. Before that, I used to live in the Netherlands. So when I was about 20, after I finished my studies, I moved to the Netherlands because 2 years before that, I met my husband. And I started marketing in Zambia. And when I went to the Netherlands, I studied communications. And right now, I buy my bread by being the owner of Inonge Fashion and Designs. So I founded this brand in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, after I became a mother. So I moved from corporate world to the world of entrepreneurship. And right now I do that, my brand on Curacao, but I also do other things. Growing up in Africa, I grew up working with my hands. So under Inonge Fashion and Designs, I also give workshops to teach other people how they can create things using their hands. So that's a little bit about me. I'm a mother and I'm a wife and I'm also an entrepreneur.
Wow. So we'll come back to, the work-life balance, because as an entrepreneur, it can be very, very difficult being a wife, a mom, and, working. So I just want to come back to Ruth. I mean, you've been an entrepreneur all your life, and you've done, you've worked as an entrepreneur in Europe and in Suriname, but obviously you're also a global, a global figure, a global entrepreneur. So, what would you say are the key challenge for you, not only in Suriname, and the opportunity that you see, because it can be sometimes very, very challenging to be an entrepreneur, especially in a place like Suriname.
Yeah, it is. But for me, having been an entrepreneur my whole life, I'm used to this uncertain life because it is an uncertain life. And I love the challenges. Is it better now with this microphone? By the way, is the
There's a
sound
little
is
bit
the
of
sound better?
echo.
Yeah, I hear that, but that's why. But I hope it's a bit better now with the
Yeah.
microphone. But yes, as an entrepreneur, you have to be able to deal with the challenges that entrepreneurship brings. Um, and yes, in every country where you want to do business, you have to get to know the country first, because every country has their own business culture and their own business rules. So this is why networking is very important. So the biggest challenge, if you want to be a global entrepreneur, is to take the time to build a network of at least two people, and talk to them about what is the business culture and what are the rules, so that you don't make any mistakes. And you have to take your time for that. That's Yeah. You have to be patient and work step by step.
And I think that's sometimes the difficult part is the being patient, and people don't always realize that business is linked to the way we do business is actually linked to our culture,
Yeah.
and we tend to when we go from one country to another, we want to replicate the same thing that we've done before, but yet we need to basically go back and understand the dynamics in the country.
Yeah.
Annika, what is your experience in Trinidad and Tobago as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, and especially as a woman, as a woman entrepreneur? How was your experience?
Well, in Trinidad, we are very diverse and open. So being an entrepreneur in Trinidad is fairly smooth flowing. One major challenge to me, it's highly competitive. However, regardless of where you are, you will always have competition. And I've learned that everybody have a sweet spot. You need to tap into your strength and your sweet spot, because there's a great power that you have when you tap into your authentic self and align that with your business. In doing that and networking, you find a flow. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's made for everything that you do, regardless of what. Always find your sweet spot and flow and the consistency with it. It makes it easier. You have to be really passionate about what you do, believe in it with the right people who's on the same mission with common goals. And the main objective is we are all in the people business, right? So regardless of what we do, we must be able to network, to connect with humans and deliver really what we offer as a business. So it's really smooth in Trinidad, and I have the lovely opportunity to connect with women from the Caribbean and well, Australia now, yeah,
Yeah.
and the US and so on. And it's all because I found my sweet spot in business. So it's really great, especially with the era in which we live in, the digital era. Everything is online. You don't have to necessarily book a flight to go to Suriname or Florida.
Yeah.
you the World Wide Web makes it so easy.
Mm-hmm. So in a way, this pandemic has been very good because we, especially as far as networking is concerned, it actually helped us to connect a little bit more with, especially people who are actually far from us.
Yeah.
Through the internet and the different platforms that are available. So really good. So, and if I understand really well what you said is that, the key thing is to play on our strength and, and be able to build the network and be consistent in everything that we do to be
Correct.
able to be successful doing business, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but also globally, because you also global, you do business globally as well. So really good. I'm just going to go to Inonge, and I know Inonge, you do a lot of, you're very multifaceted, and you work with different group of people, from young people to elderlies, and obviously having been through different cultures, African culture, European culture, and now Caribbean culture. So what have been your challenges being a businesswoman, and also being the other things that you are, a mom and a wife?
Yeah, well, definitely entrepreneurship comes on its own. It comes with a lot of challenges. So you can imagine moving through cultures, from the Zambian culture to the Dutch culture to the Caribbean, all of these mix of things going through one person, going through one brand. It's definitely been a challenge, but also a blessing, I should say. So having grown up in Zambia, I played with my hands. We used to make our own doughs, and for me, that was life. You have to create things yourself. And then I moved to the Netherlands, and then there you are faced with thousand things, the possibilities, things you can buy. That includes knowledge as well. But then comes in the challenges of not really loneliness, but the Dutch culture is a different kind of culture. People are mostly you are alone. You're not in a community like in Africa. So you have this person who grew up with the community, working with their hands, and then you start up a brand in the Netherlands where everybody else is busy with their own life. So you're not integrating. That was a very big challenge for me to start with. So I didn't, because I'm coming from, of course, I'm coming from a corporate world, and then I'm starting a brand on my own. And I don't have that network, the support you get from a community to help you start up that business. So that was a challenge, but that was a blessing as well, because it taught me that even on my own, I'm able to do things, to create things. So I created this brand on my own without the support. Of course, if I was in Zambia, it was going to work, but it also worked in the Netherlands, because I realized if I want to do this, I have to do it on my own. I don't have to rely on other people. So it works both ways. This challenge, it was a challenge. On my own, I have to start this brand. I don't have the support I had in Africa, but now I'm here and I want to do it. So I did it on my own. Another challenge I had, I should say, that's a personal challenge. So, of course, growing up in Africa, we have our own issues with time management. And then I moved to the Netherlands, and then the Dutch people are like really on time kind of people. And that was a big challenge for me, because, you have an appointment with someone, you are just starting your brand, and then you come 10 minutes late, and then the person says, no, I can't do this because I've run out of time, and I have the next client coming to help me. And in the beginning, I used to think, oh, that's actually being rude. And then, of course, I want to make my brand work, so I had to force myself to keep up with that time management. And now I see that forced me into being a structured person. So it was a challenge for me that people have to be so alert on time, but it also helped me to have a structure in with my business, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have a big company with people working for me. I have to do everything myself. So with that discipline of letting that's not English, that's that. The discipline of being alert with time, being alert with time management has really been a challenge, which has been a blessing to me now. And now I'm in the Caribbean, still talking about time management. And the Caribbean time is a little bit similar to the African time. It's more relaxed, it's more chill. But I've also grown in my business. So having the slow, laid-back African time management upbringing, influenced by the be on time Dutch management, and then coming to the Caribbean with with the relaxed flow, I've learned to find my balance. How to balance being on time, but also being a little bit relaxed. So it's on the time management. It's been a challenge, but it's also been a blessing.
So and in a way, that's the way we should look at it, is that when we have a challenge, really look at what are the blessing behind the challenge instead of focusing just on the challenge.
Yes, exactly. And lastly, one of the challenges I've had now, so it's the language. So I grew up in Africa, speaking about 5 different Zambian languages plus English, because English is our official language. And then I moved to the Netherlands and I quickly learned Dutch. I finished my studies. I started working also in the Dutch language. And then I moved to the Caribbean. And Curacao is a very beautiful country with diversity of people. So we have the Spanish influence here. We have the Dutch influence, and then we have our local language, Papiamento. I can't speak Spanish. I can't speak Papiamento, but I can speak a bit of Dutch. I can speak Dutch, and a little bit I can understand a bit of Papiamento. So the language has been a challenge for me as well, because I have to convince people to come to my brand. I have to convince people to buy, to hire me, to do things with me. But the language, of course, that's one of the biggest barrier. So slowly, and also with my age, because I'm not so young anymore, so it's not so easy to learn a new language at this age. But I'm trying to do my best, to pick it up and fit in and make my brand work in a country which is foreign to me, in a language which is foreign to me. So those are like the 3 challenges I would say I have faced so far with the migration of Zambia, the Netherlands, and Curacao.
And those are, I think those are key challenges that a lot of people, have to face, especially when you want to go global. You have the language. Yes, English is, you can speak English almost everywhere, but it's not always, always easy. And now you went to the Netherlands, which is, a particular language only spoken in certain areas, and then you have to learn the Spanish. So it's, you basically have to, you can't just sit back. You always have to, try to pick up something and learn. And you mentioned the age, but I think we have to learn at any age, because life doesn't wait for us.
Exactly,
If you really
right.
want to go through, then we just have to make an effort and learn, especially as an entrepreneur. So we're gonna take a break, because I know that there's a lot going on, and especially Ruth she developed a leadership method or leadership philosophy, and I really want people to know about this leadership today. So we're gonna have a video of Ruth explaining what sexy leadership is all about.
Water is the source of all life. Have you ever seen pictures or videos of villages with a water well in the heart of the town? The well becomes a center point where mainly children and women of the villages meet. The water The well provides water for cooking, washing, cleaning, drinking, and to grow the flowers in the gardens. The well is what gives everything and everyone in the village a good start. The well is also the spot where women gather to share their knowledge, to share their worries, to share their questions, and to share everything that they know and their stories. It's also the place where women find advice and support, and where they grow and connect to the peers, and where they feel the sisterhood that is amongst them. So what is your story? What is the wisdom that you have to share with your global sisters? Sexy leadership is a new vision on leadership that has its base in the Ubuntu philosophy of South Africa. The slogan of Ubuntu is, I am because we are. We are people because of other people. We are people because of other people, because we thrive and grow when we connect to our peers and we share and receive our wisdom and our knowledge. So what is the reason then that the majority of women in the world is not living their full potential yet? The 5 steps of sexy leadership are: know your smart, know your strengths, know your self-worth, know your sexiness, and know your sales. When we speak of sexiness, we are programmed to have an image of women in bikinis. This is how we are programmed as humans. My goal is to deprogram that, because according to the vision of sexy leadership, a person is sexy because that person is being their own authentic self. And that person radiates their positive and confident energy. This is what makes that person the most attractive person to connect to and to do business with. And that enhances their personal success. So no more women in bikini, but confident, positive, radiating people. Those are sexy people, men and women. When you are aware of what the knowledge is that you have to share, combine this with your talents and believe in what you are worth. And also choose the impact that you would like to make with what you do and with who you are. What is the impact that you would like to make with that in the world? This way you can improve your business, your life, and your career. Sexy leadership gives you the confidence and the tools to reach anything you want in the world. Are you ready to be really sexy? Good. Be as sexy as you can be. Worldwide, the movement is growing to empower women in their leadership and to stimulate corporations to bring more gender diversity in their management. For years, the world has primarily had more masculine energy and leadership. But the momentum is now here, and there's a longing for change. Leadership through connection and authenticity. That is what people are asking for. Less testosterone leadership, as I call it, and more connected, authentic, sexy leadership. Sexy leadership has already transformed dozens of women. After reading the book and after doing the exercises in the book, they have reached the core of who they truly are.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about sexy leadership? It looks like a very interesting concept, especially for women. And we're talking about women empowerment right now. We're talking about gender diversity. And how does it fit? I mean, I know this video was done a few years ago, but how does it fit right now? How is the program helping women and helping to increase those numbers, to decrease the inequality that we see?
Yeah. First of all, so funny to see this again. I was really like, "Whoa, this is 5 years ago in a few weeks," and I also noticed that I still say exactly the same because we are 5 years later than this TEDx talk. It's this TED talk, and the issues are unfortunately still the same. So I was watching myself. I was like, "Whoa, yeah." So sexy leadership again, as I said in the TED talk, is not about appearance such as having a bikini or whatever, which is a general thing that we have. Oh, sexy is about half naked women or half naked men. Yes, that is also sexy, but the sexy leadership is more about how do you feel from the inside. If you are confident, if you know what you are worth, and if you know what you have to bring to the table, whatever table you choose, or if you are like me and say, you know what, I'm not going to wait for anybody to invite me to their table. I'm going to build my own table and invite my people. But whatever method you choose or whatever way you choose, sexy leadership is about knowing who you are, knowing what you have to bring, knowing what you are worth, knowing how to present yourself physically, verbally, in business or in private life or whatever. Being aware that whatever it is that you do and whatever it is that you say, you always make an impact. Yeah. And you have to be aware of that impact because then you can handle the reactions that people have on that impact. Because what we do as humans will always affect someone, and those people will react. And if you know upfront the impact that you want to make or the impact that you make, then um, you can react accordingly. So a sexy leadership is all about knowing who you are, knowing what you have to bring, and also to connect in an authentic way with others. Because it doesn't really matter what you want to achieve in life, private life or business life. You cannot do it alone. You cannot do it by yourself. And as I said in the TED Talk, sexy leadership is very much inspired by the Ubuntu philosophy. And Mireille and Inonge, you are from the mother continent of Africa. So Inonge also talked about the community life that you have there. And here in the Caribbean, we are African diaspora, most of us, and we took that with us. So we also have that sense of community here. And I think we can see it now during this COVID-19 era that we are in, and the lockdowns, and people cannot see each other, people cannot touch each other anymore. And we humans, we need that human connection. We need it. Now it's not possible in a lot of countries, and you see that a lot of people suffer from that. So this is also what sexy leadership is about connection, true connection, authentic connection. Because why would you spend a lot of time and energy on being someone that you are not? You can do that for only how long, and then you lose yourself. So if you take sexy leadership towards business, I love to do business with a lot of different people. But as soon as I notice that people are not being authentic, that they are lying or that they are cheating business-wise on me, then why would I do business with such a person? So if you are confident about who you are, and if as an entrepreneur, as a female entrepreneur specifically, maybe, or I work a lot with women empowerment, so this is why I talk like this. But if you really know what you have to bring to that table, what you have to bring as an entrepreneur, and you're confident about it, then um, what can go wrong? Maybe you will get disappointed or something about, I don't know. But you will deal with it better because you know what you are worth.
It doesn't mean that every deal will follow through, but you can deal with it better with rejection, and you will find another path that works with your passion and with your purpose, and you will take those steps then. So it makes you more flexible. But it's important to know who you are and to know what impact you want to make in the world and to connect authentically with others. So, yeah, that's what sexy leadership is about, basically.
Okay, all right. So that's really good. I just wanted to ask Annika, what because you're a coach and you also a leadership coach, transformational coach, and you've been certified by John Maxwell. So just wanted to know, as part of your work as a leader, how what's the impact that you have, and how are you working with people in the ground, and as a woman, how is your leadership traveling in your work?
Well, it has been quite a journey with its challenges, of course. And it's a learning experience every day with every client. Um, for me, just going on, just writing on what Ruth said about being authentic, being able to connect with people, that makes such a huge difference because you come from a place of helping, connecting, and understanding each person and what do you want in life. And this is beyond identities given by society and our parents and expectations generally. This is about tapping into you and your potential. So having this opportunity to speak to different people from different backgrounds, it's truly amazing to learn and go on a journey with everybody. And for me, what's exciting is the unfolding of what we have been served over the years. To see somebody come to you as is, and the journey that we go on unfolding and tapping into the potential and equipping and empowering. It is so beautiful in its sense because we all must aim to live a purposeful life, a meaningful life. And how I work, it goes to our programs. A lot of the time we have conflicting programs and we have the goals, and we don't usually understand sometimes. I want to accomplish something, but subconsciously I have a conflicting program which is stopping me. And this realization for people, it's an aha moment that also drives them. So leadership is beyond managing. Leadership is being authentic, being able to connect, being able to equip and empower. As I said, I use those words a lot, to add value, to allow people to grow personally. And that ripples off into the business relationships we have, the quality of business that we offer, and how far we can grow personally and in business.
So that's and I like what you're saying, is that you said leadership is being able to connect, leadership is being able to empower and allow people to grow personally. And sometimes we don't understand that. We think that leadership is a lot of leaders actually think, so-called leader thinks that leadership is about themselves. And yet it's not about themselves, it's about people, it's about leading people and making sure that they are able to empower themselves, they are able to step into their power, step into their greatness, and start to themselves lead as well. So a leader is actually making other leaders, and not like what we see with a manager, which is there to manage processes or manage people, but not really, you know, looking at the person, how the person is going to develop and how the person is going to grow. So we're just going to have a break to see a short video of the fantastic work that Inonge is doing, and then we'll talk to her about, you know, how she leads in whatever she's doing.
Welcome back. Yeah, good so. Yeah, good so. And yeah, welcome back. Iedereen geweest?
So Inonge, how do you do that? Because when I was putting all of this together, I see that you're working with children, you're working with women, that you also working with the elderly, the aged people. So how do you lead all, because those are different people at different stage of their life. So how do you come up with the right leadership to be able to lead people from a different age?
That's a very interesting question, which I get a lot, because sometimes I don't even see how different the things I do are, but in the end, they always come back together. I should say how I do this. It's the African blood and the African upbringing, surely. Well, I had to find my own story and tell my own story, but not only to benefit me, but to benefit other people as well. So at some point, I found my story. It's funny, I'm going to tell you this. In Zambia, when you're born, you're given two names because we are a former English colony. So you get an English name and an African name. So officially, I am Margaret, and then I have my Zambian name, Inonge. So I grew up as Margaret. And then at some point, I found my story, and I wanted to tell my story. And I realized telling my story as Inonge, it carries more weight. So I, as Inonge, decided I'm going to show my African story, not the way other people show it. Because if you look in the media today, you see when people talk about Africa, they show Africa which is going through conflicts, which is going through wars and hunger and stuff like that. And if they want to be kind, they are going to show animals and the beauty of Africa. So I'm not denying the conflicts in Africa. There are lots of conflicts in Africa, but I want to show the other part of Africa, which is not really shown, and that is the beauty of Africa. And the beauty of Africa is, like Annika mentioned, is togetherness. So I started this brand making clothes, and the idea was to show the beauty of Africa in the clothes I make. And then I became a parent, and then I had to incorporate what I do with being a mother. And most of the times I work with my children. So in the Netherlands, I'll go and give workshops with a baby on my back because I'm that kind of a mother who wants to do everything with their child. And then when I was in the Netherlands, I also realized the other side of Europe, which is not so known, because when we look at Europe from the TV, we see luxury and cars and people having lots of food and everything. But there is that part about the elderly people being in old people's homes, and then you have to visit them once in a while. And then that is so different. In Africa, we take care of the elderly, our people, because those are they're our libraries. Here we can read lots of books, but in Africa we have the knowledge. That knowledge is in the heads of the elderly people, so we always take care of them. So I thought of incorporating all these things. My clothes, my beautiful clothes, and then working with children because I'm a mother, but also fighting that loneliness, which I saw in the Netherlands, which the elderly people go through. Because, of course, everybody's busy, we all want to make money, so you don't have that time to have an elderly person in the house. And sometimes when you put them in the home, you don't have the time to go and visit them daily. But with programs like what I do, for example, the elderly people, Mother's Day here on the island, together with somebody from here, somebody who really has a heart for people, we 2 years ago we organized like a speed date, and we get mothers from an old people's home, and then we couple them with people like me who are on the island without their parents on the island. So we have like a date. So you get an elderly person, and then we have lunch together. For me, those kind of things, I don't have to earn money. That's just passion. That's bringing people together. That's making people smile. That's making people feel good. And that is one part of leadership. Sorry, my son is here. That's one part of leadership which is also very, very important, which you have to show humanity, ubuntu, like what Ruth said. That's fighting loneliness. And with the creativity part, it all goes back to my upbringing. And sometimes I just feel that child in me coming out of me. So growing up in Africa, me and my sister didn't have so many toys like what my children have today. We had, for example, one a Barbie doll, which was given to my mom by her American friends. And for the rest, we used to make our own, you shell maize, and then you take the comb, you put sticks in, and you have a doll. And these days, you see people from the US, from Europe, from developed worlds are saying, poor people in Africa, the children don't have toys, they resort to making toys from sticks, let's donate to them, and then they send you plastic dolls. No, it's okay. Let the children play, create their own dolls. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a different way of living. You have this way of living with lots of toys, but creating our own toys, that's our way. So I grew up with thinking like that. And now I want to impact other children, other people, that they can make their own toys. They can make things with their own hands. They don't have to only be happy when you have money and buy lots of toys. You can create it with your own children and make things. So besides my brand and making clothes and selling things, I think a part of leadership is the humanity humanity side of life, that you socialize with people, integrate with people, and develop skills and share your skills with other people. So how I do it, it still brings me back to the African blood and the idea of Ubuntu.
Wow, it's just amazing, and you've touched on so many points, and the key one is really the one about material. And when you talk about people in the developing countries really wanting to send toys, and yet we have everything to create our own toys, and you actually people like you push to help the children to start to step into their creativity, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to help them going forward, being creative, being innovative, and being passionate about what they're doing, instead of having them giving them everything, and at some point when we're not around, they feel really lost. And that's a really powerful message. And we can see it now with this pandemic as well, where people were relying on this economy that was created for everybody, and yet now that everything is down, some of us are lost. We don't know what to do, and we now understand that we have to create our own economy, something that we can control, because otherwise at some point we get really vulnerable, and that's what's happening right now. So really powerful.
Yes, you're so right. You're right. That's also, like I said, I'm a very solution oriented. So when I see a problem, I don't complain about the problem. Of course, I complain, I'm human, but I try to see how can we get out of it. And I should say with this pandemic, when we were hit by this pandemic, we were all like panicking. How are we going to do this? But it has also been a very it has been a blessing, on its own, because I see a lot of people have become very creative. You see parents cooking with their children. You see some of us who are not so active with the online world. All of a sudden now we are, how do I do this? And we're doing shops online, Yeah, but and you see children, parents making films of their children and all the things they are making. So this, for some reason, maybe it doesn't sound so nice to say, but for some reason, we really needed something like this to push us out of our comfort zones, to realize how powerful we are and how many powerful things we can do. There's lots of creativity going on out there. I know it's sad because the economy has been crushed, but on the other hand, the humanity and the creativity has just been brought up in us. It's just like coming out. It's good to see.
Yes.
Yeah, but in that sense, what Inonge is saying, the economies have been crushed, but that forces a lot of people now to tap inside from, okay, so what can I do differently? And how can I overcome this? How can I rebuild myself? And that is a big part of sexy leadership. Look inside yourself. So everything that you knew is now different. And we have to step out of our comfort zones and become creative. And now is the time to really search for, hey, what is my purpose? What do I really want? Do I want to go on like I always did? Or now we are in the pandemic rest, reset. Wow, what can I do differently? And what do I really want to do from now on? And that is also a big leadership lesson, to really be able to look in the mirror. So how was I acting up until now? And what do I want to do differently now? And what of my talents, which one of my talents am I going to use? What knowledge am I going to use? And what is the life that I want to build for myself from now on? That's also a big sexy leadership lesson. Oh yeah, Inonge, thanks for reminding me of that. So don't let us not look at this pandemic as and yes, of course, it's really sad because we are also losing a lot of human lives. And on the other hand, every crisis has its opportunities, and especially for entrepreneurs. If you are a true entrepreneur, you will see the opportunities, and you will be able to put on the new glasses and look from a different perspective and find other ways to reset and rebuild.
So very, very powerful, and I'm really happy that message, to with the audience, because sometimes, a lot of people tend to just focus on the problems, and really, and start to get, frustrated and discouraged, and really, making things worse on themselves. But like you said, is the time to reflect. It's the time to really look at in the mirror and say, okay, what do we want to do differently, and what do we want to change, and how do we want to work now to be able to.
I think individually and globally, because we humans, we really have to be honest now. We have to change things. We really need to change things.
I agree
on several levels.
And that comes with also reassessing your values and your driving force. Where we are forced to reset what drove us before to do what we do, what are we about, what's our priorities. And this encourages us to be more human-oriented, which is much needed. A lot of us were so involved in the corporate world, for example, and we neglected our family. This forced a balance. So hopefully coming out of this, just like what you ladies are saying, having that balance and creativity and new world in which we are entering perhaps the balance will be greater because we're all humans at the end of the day, and we need to keep that connection, that purpose, with great values in the business and personal life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's no, that's just so powerful. So let's just look at who we are because I think you have a lot of friends watching right now. Uh, there's okay, that's me. There's trees. Trees is
Trace. It's my
watching.
friend. Yeah. Hi, Trace.
She's your friend. We have Gerda.
My
She's
aunt.
trying to see
That's my
you.
auntie.
That's your auntie. So I think that's your mom, isn't it? Good job, ladies. Uh, Again, that's a good job you're doing, ladies. There's Tebelo as well. Tebelo is here. Lovely to see all these powerful ladies here. And Tebelo was also saying that she read your book. I've enjoyed reading Ruth's book, Sexy Leadership, and learned some good leadership lessons. And so, really, good input. And it looks like you were in advance of your time because now the sexy leadership is actually quite needed. And so that's really
Well,
good.
some things need to
So,
marinate. You know, when you cook, you have to marinate the chicken first, and then it will be good. Yeah. And some things need some time to marinate,
Yeah.
and then it will be very good. Yeah.
so you've done the marinade, and now it's time to cook
That
the
was-
chicken because we really need
That's a
this
good one, Ruth.
sexy
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
leadership. It's just so needed to be able to get out of this crisis that we are all into. So I mean, unfortunately, time really flies, and I just wanted to ask you, what are because we've talked about leadership, we've talked about what you've done, and obviously, I mean, you've already accomplished so much. You've been impacting your communities positively. So, what are your expectations for the future, and what legacy do you want to leave? Who wants to start on this one?
Oh, I'll go first.
Well, okay. Let.
Go ahead,
Oh, yeah.
I'll go.
Inonge, go. No, no, Inonge, go.
Inonge,
Okay.
you
Thank
can
you.
go on.
Yes. As for me personally, I would like people to remember me as the girl who tried to put Africa on the map differently. So not just about our disasters or our animals. Our animals are beautiful. We have beautiful nature in Africa, but the positive side of the people. So who try to show people the beauty of Africa in their food, in their clothes, in the way they behave, and the way they treat other human beings. So all those kind of things. You see, I learned from a young age to do sewing, with the needle. And then when I started my fashion and design course, I learned how to sew with the sewing machine, and that's perfect. And right now, I have a sewing group for girls, and we learn how to sew with the needle. That the girls can make their own clothes, and that's it's nothing to do with Africa, but it's just something to do with humanity and creativity. So I would like people to know that Africa, besides all their conflicts and problems and troubles, there is beauty out there, and not just the beauty in nature, not just the beauty of how we look, but how we think and, from the inside, that humanity kind of way. That is what I would like. That's the
Yep.
legacy I'd like to leave.
Wow,
Somebody
that's a
who
beau-
knows how
that's
to
a
treat
beautiful
somebody who knows
legacy.
conditions.
Beautiful legacy because, like you said, people tend to focus on what's wrong in Africa, what is not working, and yet there's so much beauty and there's so much to do. And when we have the right mindset, and when we start to really look around us in a positive way, we find this beauty, we find the solution to our problems, and it's really something big that you would leave if you can do that because it's important. it's important to really show the real face, of Africa. So Ruth, you wanted to go after Inonge. What do you expect from the future, and what's the legacy that you want to leave?
Yeah, what I expect from the future, what I really, really want everybody in this world to think about is how are you going to do things differently? Because as I already said, how we've been treating the globe and how we've been treating each other on this world up until now was not good. So we need to change as humans. And what my legacy, I have one for Suriname. Suriname is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, but we have to start believing in ourselves and in our potential, and work from there, because this is a country that has everything, but we have to really work together, work on our potential, and make Suriname the most beautiful country on the South American, continent. So that's my dream for Suriname, and to connect people and to really have people working together, step into the leadership and be positive. And for the world, everybody who knows me knows that I am an advocate for women, advocate for equality. And you and I, Mirai, are working on a big project on that. We will talk about that another time. But globally, I would love for people to work together with me to change the position, economic position of women, and especially women of color, um, and raise the bar on that, and make it better and make it more equal. So that is really what I am working on globally.
So very, very beautiful legacy as well, making sure that, people step into their leadership and understand their value, and really focusing on women, because sometimes, women, we don't understand the power that we have. Yet there are inequality. Yes, we are sometimes discriminated, but a lot of time we actually don't understand what we are worth, and we tend to, to forget that and play victims. But it's not the time to do that. It's the time to step into our power. It's the time to step into our leadership. It's the time to endorse and apply the sexy leadership, and make sure that the testosterone leadership get a back seat, and so that we can, express ourselves, and really work together with our, with
Work
the men,
together,
and
yes.
have, and have an equality for all of us. So fantastic as well. Great legacy. And Annika, what legacy do you want to leave?
I love this question. It's something that I think about and I reassess as I go on my lane. First, I will like everybody to accept that we are all connected beyond race, beyond religion, country. We are all humans. We are all connected, and we all need love and support. Together, we can embrace challenges. My legacy is to be remembered as the facilitator of growth that showed people how to tap into their personal power by the power of their minds, and how to use that to write the best story possible for a meaningful, purposeful life, and to allow people to love challenges. Remember, regardless of where you are in life, age, country, situation, once you tap into your personal power, the power of your mind, you can create anything you want. That is what I want to leave behind. To empower people to tap into that. And remember, nothing is impossible once you have the love, support, and the power of your mind.
Yes, And that's powerful because the mind is really everything.
Yes,
When we
it's a,
can master our mind, we can create everything in life. And I love that you said that you're going to be one of, remember, as a facilitator for
yes,
people to understand that is that it's all start in our mind. And you know, and we're not disconnected, we're all connected. We have the mind, but we connect it to other people, and together we create, you know, this world that we are living in. So fantastic, fantastic legacies and grandiose legacies. You have to dream big. You have to, you know, and dream even bigger, because otherwise we're just going to be stuck into the mediocrity of our everyday and everyday life. So it's important that, you know, you guys think about, you know, something big that you, and think about, you know, the legacy that you want to leave behind, because that's what, you know, that's what stays when we're gone, when we finish our journey here. So there are lots of comments here. um, Let me just bring some of the comment. Avenge Earth, okay, that's an old one. Proud of Ruth and the Power Ladies. There was another one from Tibelo, a beautiful and great legacy to leave about Africa, and it is time the African woman like yourself continue to take the leadership to change for a different and sustainable future. Thank for that, Tebelo. Very powerful comment. And again, um, great job. That's Sonia,
Hey,
Sonia Body
Sonia.
Thompson. She's here. She's really appreciating, you know, all the, you know, all the insight that you, all the nuggets that you are giving us, and it's really fantastic. So just, you know, we will put another video again, just to see what Annika is doing as well, and understand a little bit, you know, in, you know, in this short video, what her work is all about. So, ladies, times flies. You know, we are arriving at the end of the show, but you're not gonna live like that. I want to ask you, you know, how people can connect with you, because I think you know, you've dropped so many good nuggets today, and I'm pretty sure people they want to continue the discussion with you. So, just want to know how, you know, they can connect with you, and if there's an event or something that you want to share, and tell them, you know, what it's all about. um, Anika, can you start this time?
sure, not a problem. You can connect with me on Facebook at Intentional Leadership TT. I have a lot of beautiful mastermind programs and workshops that I think we all would be interested in for personal and leadership purposes. So Facebook would be the best. I'm currently in the process of building my website. There's that great demand for it now. So very soon you will find me on www.intentionalleadershiptt.com. But Facebook for now, connect with me. I'm very excited to hear your feedback on how I can add value to your life.
Yeah. So don't hesitate, contact Anika. She's on Facebook, and she's going to have a new website pretty soon. So you can start with Facebook first, and then have a discussion with us with her to see, how she can help you with any problem that you have, but don't hesitate to contact her. Ruth, let us know where we can connect with you. And I know that there's some program coming up as well, and it's very very exciting. We've been working on a program together, but I leave I leave it to you to talk to the audience.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. So the easiest way to find me is to go on Google and you type in Ruth and you type in Sexy Leadership. This is the book. And then you will find everything about me. So Ruth and then Sexy Leadership. You can find the book on Amazon if you want to read it. And just like Tabello and a lot of others, take some leadership lessons and really transform yourself and your life, because that's what the book does. So on Amazon, you can find the book Sexy Leadership, and in Dutch on bol.com. But you see my name here, Ruth L. Sinclair. The L is for Louise. Yes, it's on Kindle and it's on paperback. So go to Amazon and order your copy of the Sexy Leadership book and transform your life. So, and on Ruth L. Sinclair, that's my Facebook page. And there you can find a lot of things that I post, or on my Instagram and on my website, ruthsinclair.nl or RULOU.biz, but ruthsinclair.nl is the easiest. You can find everything about my online courses that will also really help you to transform your personal life and your business life. We are all entrepreneurs, so that's what I do. That's what we all do. The online courses or videos that you can have access to for 6 months and work on your personal and business leadership. So go to the website, ruthsinclair.nl. There's still a COVID discount until the 1st of June. So for the coming 3 weeks. So yeah, if you want to find me and if you want to ask me things, send me a message.
Yeah. So make sure you buy and read Sexy Leadership. It's really a very good book. So make sure you get your copy, because this leadership is needed right now. Ruth was ahead of her time, but now is the time to apply this leadership and make sure you understand what it's all about by reading the book and starting to take action on that. So Inonge, I know you're doing a lot of creative things. How can we connect with you? And do you have anything coming up that you want the audience to know about?
Okay. Well, I love connecting with people. So I am very, very active on Facebook. If you're interested in my work, you have to look for Inonge Fashion and Designs on Facebook, and the same as on Instagram. And I have a separate Facebook page, just a personal page. So if you're not really into my work, but you want to see the beauty of Africa, you want to discover some music, you want to see me being creative at home or dancing with my kids, or just anything very positive about Africa, you have to connect with me. Just Inonge Anandala van de Wetering. That's my personal Facebook. There, it's a mix of everything. But if you're interested in my work, you have to go to Inonge's Fashion and Designs, and that's the same on Facebook. And I also give head wrap workshops. And my blessing through the COVID time is I do digital head wrap workshops. I just discovered that this is possible now, because all the time Ruth has been on me that you have to go digital, but I was like, how does it work? And now I discovered I don't just have to give workshops to people who are based on Curacao. I can give workshops to people everywhere. So we do these workshops during this COVID time, and it's always fun. You know, we come together, women from different parts of the world at the same time. You have your the glass of wine, you have your glass of water, and we learn how to wrap heads. So you can get in touch with me through Facebook, Inonge's Fashion and Designs, if you want to learn about head wrapping. And well, that's it. I also opened a YouTube account. So Inonge's Fashion and Designs, you can find me on YouTube. You subscribe, give me some support. And tomorrow is my birthday. So if you come to my Facebook, you see a lot of African dancing.
Okay, so wow, very colorful, and we're already telling you, saying happy birthday. You should have told me. I would have brought something for
A digital cake.
a digital celebration, maybe some drinks or something. But
It's too
just,
early for wine here, eh? Inonge. It's too early for wine in
good
our
because
part of the world.
I'm gonna go to bed. It's not time for me, so I can drink and go to bed. But
Yes.
that's fine.
Cheers.
We'll do
Yeah.
it another day,
Yes.
and really enjoy. So it's been a real pleasure to have you. It's been amazing. Thanks for your insight. Thanks for your inspiration, and we really love what you're doing. And keep shining your light to your community, to the world, and to the audience. I hope you took notes, and that you're gonna connect with those amazing ladies. They can help you. They have the experience and they have the knowledge, and as you saw, they are really, diverse. They know about diversity. They know they've lived, globally, internationally, and they're doing business internationally. So just don't hesitate to contact them, and really continue this discussion with them. So Monday we're having two ladies for the show. So Shari is in Singapore. She's empowering women, and we have Professor Ona Miller. Those two ladies are helping women to step into their excellence and really, become the best that they can be. So they're going to be next on the show, and we're really looking forward to have them. So tuning, and again, I always try to bring the best. I've tried to bring people who are going to bring value to you. So make sure you come and join us for this discussion. So that's the end. So I'm gonna say bye bye to our guest. It's been amazing to go to the Caribbean virtually, and hopefully next year I can enjoy live, because now the COVID-19 have actually changed my plans, so I have to postpone, and I'll see you live next year. So take care.
We are
And
waiting for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
exactly,
Thank
yeah.
you for having us.
You are welcome.
So much.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.